Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me, Dr. Noah Erickson from Innovative Family Wellness. I wanted to talk about the gut-brain connection today, right? We often think that if our brain's malfunctioning, we need to grab a quick medicine or take something to alleviate our headaches. But what about looking a little bit south down to your gut? So what I always talk about is the healthy intestinal microbiome, right? So the good bugs and the bad bugs. But often people say, how in the world did I get there? So stay tuned as I tell you the ABCs of gut function. All right, and I got a bonus at the end here. So we know that gut microbiome, healthy bugs versus bad bugs, helps us with digestion, to prevent constipation, diarrhea, bloating, irritable bowel. And here at Innovative Family Wellness, we've helped thousands of people over the year overcome those conditions. But what about brain fog? Everyday mental malfunction. And for those of you who bring your kiddos to see me here at Dr. Noah's Ark, the special practice for autism recovery and kids with special needs, we always talk about the importance of fixing the tummy. So here we go. Take notes. It's as easy as your child would be capable of doing it. The ABCs of how we get to having these gut problems, right? Leaky gut, leaky brain. Gut on fire, brain on fire. So here we go. Number one for children, A for antibiotics. The overusage of antibiotics can lead to several things, including resistant strains of bacteria. But on top of that, I say they have a brain that doesn't know just how to go and get the bad bug. They often collaterally kill the good stuff. So unfortunately, you're left with the depletion of healthy bacteria. Now, these healthy bacteria help make vitamins, they help digest your foods, and they make brain chemicals, right? They help the vagus nerve, a nerve that terminates in your tummy. They help actually making brain chemicals. The second part of the A, though, is alcohol. So hello, adults, alcohol. So that can do it too. But remember this, if you have an infection called a yeast infection, you make something called acetaldehyde. And I tease people all the time and say, it's like you have a beer brewery right here in your belly. So you might as well be making alcohol, because if you have yeast, you can end up this way. All right, let's move on to B. B surprises a lot of women, birth control pills, okay? That is a hormonal influence on affecting the gut microbiome. I'll jump it on down here now to C. Corticosteroids. If you've been on them for inflammation, maybe you're managing an autoimmune disease like Crohn's disease, or you have ulcerative colitis, and you have asthma, those type of conditions, typically in a medical setting, you're on corticosteroids, and that can certainly do that. And also people, another C of how we get to bad gut function is chemotherapy. So those drugs can render enzymes useless in our gut function and cause this slowing down of motility, causing brain fog. So there's a couple of C's for you. Now the S, again, the ABCs of how we get here. The S is a few things. It's diets high in sugar, right? Candies, cakes, soda pop, ice cream, chewing gum, alcohol, like I said, for those kind of sugars and things can cause your body to disrupt its healthy bacteria. But another S, and people are always so intrigued by this one, the S here is stress. Stress can cause an inflammatory cascade to interfere with your proper gut microbiota. Now, if that's not enough, we realize that the stress can affect the limbic system in your brain. That can change the level of our ability to think. So there's a gut-brain connection, right? We know that inside our brain, the area for emotions called the limbic system is heavily influenced by cortisol. And these little nerve connections that go forward into the front of your brain to help with proper processing and functioning can be distorted. So you know how we call it mommy brain? When you think you're super stressed, and you are, and you're super busy, and you are, and you just can't focus on anything, mommy brain's real, because the high cortisol can actually change the way your brain's talking to the prefrontal motor cortex and back again. And keep in mind too, this little area called the limbic system is made of a few structures. One of the structures there, in addition to the hypothalamus, is the amygdala, and that's for memory. So you know how when you say you have mommy brain, you just can't remember things? Well, you're having problems with names and dates and times and things. That can be that connection. So here's the other surprise. I say A, B, C's of how you get to a bad gut. I'll say this, A, B, C, G's, and W's. And if you know me long enough, you know I always like to have a good time here in the office. G's and W's. The G stands for glyphosate. That's a chemical that you'll see in pesticides like Roundup that is sprayed onto your foods. So I ask many people, do you drink alcohol? No. And they probably say, do you take antibiotics? No. I'm thinking, great, you're on board. You're kind of in my tribe. You're in my camp. You know, you're natural. You're drinking kombucha and eating kimchi. You're having fermented vegetables. And you're doing your bone broth. And you're healing your gut. And you're eating yogurt and things, all good sources of healthy bacteria. But unfortunately, they don't remember that the G here, the glyphosate that they're eating in their food, can kill off the bacteria. And it can cause this condition called leaky gut because it aggravates these little tight borders. Think of in your showers where there's tiles and there's the grout. That can cause that to leak. There again, the chemicals come over, leaky gut, leaky brain. They cross the blood-brain barrier in something called the microglial. They sneak in and they inflame the brain. And there's even a histamine connection that's really interesting with foods. But stay tuned, as another web will tell you more about that one. All right. Now, the final thing from my A, B, C, G's, W's of how you get this whole thing, gut on fire, brain on fire. The other thing here is water, tap water, okay? Many of you know that I enjoy swimming. Yes, I do swim in a chlorine pool most of the year. When I can, I'm in a saltwater pool. Unfortunately, tap water, when we drink it, has what in it? Just like a pool, chlorine. Chlorine, unfortunately, does what to bacteria? And I'm thankful for it because I do not want to swim in a pool and get germs. But when you ingest tap water, that chlorine kills off, you got it, gut bacteria, which then allows the bad guys to take over. It's called dysbiosis. Your immune system goes low. And when your immune system goes low, you shift things like T cells and B cells and your white cells. And unfortunately, now you're more vulnerable to infections and viruses. And can you imagine that your gut would keep you healthy in terms of right now, this time of year, right? A healthy gut keeps your kids out of getting sick and sinus infections and earaches because that healthy gut bolsters your immune system. So there you have it, right? The A, B, C's, G's, and W's of a gut problem. I'll take it from the top again. If you're just joining me here late, I see a few people are, and thanks so much for tuning in, guys. Hope you're all well today. A, antibiotics and alcohol. B, birth control pill. C, chemotherapy and corticosteroids. S, sugar and stress. G, glyphosate, which always surprises people. And the old W there, water. So thank you so much for tuning in today. I hope this little thing was helpful here, talking about a healthy gut and a healthy brain, and how it applies to folks with anxiety and depression, mood swings, and good old-fashioned brain fog. And again, for those of you who know that I work with kiddos, a lot of kiddos on the autism spectrum, we start at the gut. So remember that old saying, the gut is where all diseases begin? I think there's a lot of good evidence to say, yes, a lot of arrows point to that, but I hope you found this video helpful. If you have, click that share button, click the like button, send it on to someone who you think can benefit from them. Until then, this is Dr. Noah Erickson from Innovative Family Wellness, wishing you invincible health. Take care.